Hello and welcome. In this video, I will show you how to create a grid view. Inside the column widget, we create a size box widget. We use this widget to create some space between the list view and the grid view that we will create. Next, we create a size box widget. We use this widget to give a fixed size to its child widget. The child widget is a masonry grid view widget which is used to display a grid of items with different heights. To use masonry grid view in Flutter, we need to add the package to our pubspec.yaml file like this. The masonry grid view widget has several parameters. Physics. This parameter controls how the grid scrolls. In this case, we use never scrollable scroll physics, which means the grid does not scroll at all. Padding. This parameter adds some space around the grid. In this case, we use edge insets.symmetric, which means the space is equal on both horizontal and vertical sides. We use a variable called default padding to define the amount of space. Shrink-wrap. This parameter determines whether the grid should shrink to fit its children. In this case, we set it to true, which means the grid will have the same height as its children. Cross-axis count. This parameter defines how many columns the grid should have. In this case, we set it to 2, which means the grid will have 2 columns. Main axis spacing. This parameter defines the space between the rows of the grid. In this case, we set it to 20, which means there will be 20 pixels of space between each row. Cross-axis spacing. This parameter defines the space between the columns of the grid. In this case, we set it to 20, which means there will be 20 pixels of space between each column. Item count. This parameter defines how many items the grid should have. In this case, we use demo products. Length plus 1, which means the grid will have one more item than the length of the demo products list. The demo products list is a list of products objects. The products class, which is used to create the product objects. The products class has 5 fields: title, price, image, description, category, creating a list of products objects which is used to populate the grid. The list is called demo products. The list contains 4 products objects, each with different values for the fields. Item builder. This function returns a widget for each item depending on the value of the index parameter. If the index is 1, the function returns a sizebox widget, which is used to give a fixed size to its child widget. The child widget is an empty widget, which means there will be nothing displayed for this item. This is done to create a gap in the grid. If the index is 0, the function returns a products method. The products method takes a products object as a parameter and displays the information of the product. In this case, we pass the first element of the demo products list as the parameter. If the index is anything else, the function returns a products method, but with the index, one element of the demo products list, as the parameter. This is done to skip the gap in the grid. The products method takes a products object as a parameter and builds a column widget. Inside this column, we create a container widget. In box decoration, we use the color red and we use the border radius circular, which means that we create a circular border with a radius of 33 pixels. To fix this, we need to add the single child scroll view widget is used to create a box that can be scrolled for a single widget. As you can see, when you scroll, the up bar color changes. To fix this, we need to change surface tint color. Create a clip rect widget, which is used to clip the child widget according to the border shape. We use the same shape, border radius circular 33, for this widget. The child widget of this widget is an image asset widget. We use the image property to define the file path, which takes the value products image from the past products object. We use the fit property to define how the image fills the widget. In this case, we use box fit cover, which means that the image will cover the whole widget while preserving the aspect ratio. A size box widget, which is used to add some space between the image and the text. We use the height property to define the height of the widget. In this case, we use a variable default padding to define the amount of space. Next, we create a text widget, which is used to display the product title. We use text style to set the font size to 18 and the font weight to bold. We use the product's title value from the past products object as the text content. Create also text widget, which is used to display the product description. We use the text align property to define how the text is aligned in the widget. In this case, we use text align.center, which means the text will be centered horizontally. We use text style to set the font size to 16, the color to gray, and the font weight to bold. We use the product's description value from the past products object as the text content. The last text widget, which is used to display the product price. We use text style to set the font size to 18 and the font weight to bold. We use the product's price value from the past products object as the text content. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching and see you next time.